Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Coe Show. My name is Mason Coe. Sitting across from me, as always, my co-host Aaron Coe.
Hello.
Today is Wednesday, September 30th. Finals, they start today. That's obviously super exciting.
Yeah, fuck the NBA.
Okay.
Are my Sonics back?
Hey,
Fuck Howard Schultz.
By the way, I think this is the first podcast with the flag up now.
Yeah, I do like the flag.
I moved so you can see the newspaper still right there. I moved the Sarkeesian poster past that, and now there's something covering Sark's face, so I can only see Jake Locker.
Nice.
So I figured we'd get a little bit more representation from some other teams here other than just the Huskies.
I wonder how drunk Sark was in that photo.
Jesus. All right, well, speaking of the Huskies and things being back, Pac-12.
Football.
Football's back.
It's
It's great.
one of these days it's back.
Yeah, still, I haven't really read up on it too much because for me, it was the same thing with the NFL. We both had this feeling it'll happen when it happens, and we'll be excited when it happens, and we'll watch. But like, I'm not throwing out any expectations.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're supposed to be doing even.
I've followed the story pretty closely because it's just been all over the place.
Yeah.
You know, we put out a schedule a week later, we cancel the season, we're playing in the spring, then we say we can test daily, and then nothing happens for like 3 weeks, and then they decide to play again after the Big Ten decides to play. And you know, there's been a lot of reports about who wanted to play and who didn't. There was you know, a lot of people have said that it was like a 7-5 vote with Washington voting no, but
It's really interesting.
but that source it's like Bruin Report. And you know, that's not, but you know, John Wilner, who, you know, the the San Jose Mercury News is the best Pac-12 reporter that there is.
Cool.
He's
What's
awesome.
his name? I'm gonna write his name down.
He's a good follow if you like Pac-12, if
I'm
you
actually
like
gonna
Washington.
follow, What's his name?
John Wilner.
John Wilner. I've heard of him.
Jon.
Okay, I've heard of him. I don't
He's
know
a great follow. He's been around for a long time. He's quick and he's accurate. And
All right.
he's sure that it was 8 or 9 yeses, and 3 or 4. If you guys want to.
Yeah. Okay. That would make more sense to me. I feel like.
I never believed that Washington didn't want to play. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So anyway, but yeah, they're coming back. I wish it would have happened faster. But you know, hey, it's coming. You know, November 7th is better than spring, or better than never.
Yeah.
So I will take it.
I like his @ too. It's @ Wilner Hotline.
Yeah, it's called the Wilner Hotline.
Okay. Yeah.
That's his thing in the newspaper as well.
Ah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm glad it's coming back. It's kind of weird that they all decided as a conference that there will be no fans in the stands. I kind of wish they would have let each school or each state, you know, dictate that rather than California for sure won't be able to do it. So everybody else, too bad. Whatever. You know, at this point, I'll take what I can get.
Oh yeah, for sure. Speaking of college coaches not wanting to play, did you see the Kentucky versus Louisville thing?
No, I did not.
So I don't know the whole story on this.
It's Louisville, by the way.
Louisville. I don't know the whole story on this, but basically John Calipari said that Chris Mack, who is the head coach for Louisville basketball, said he asserted, according to ESPN, that they didn't want to play Kentucky this year, and there was like some scheduling issues and stuff going on, and Chris Mack came out with a video and just cooked Calipari, just came out with the receipts too. Like, we set this date and you said no. We Louisville versus Kentucky, we moved this date to there, and we still have our home game, so there's no reason we couldn't do it with basketball. And he just goes on and on and on, and yeah. And he said this too. As for the UK series, here's the thing: I want to do what's most convenient for John and his program. Like, he was just being sarcastic. Like, yeah. Anyway, that was just kind of a random thing that popped in my head.
Calipari is a freaking slime ball.
Oh,
He's a
yeah.
used car
He looks
salesman.
like a slime ball, and yeah.
He's a used car salesman. He's great at going into homes and getting the 5 best players in the nation every year. They play 1 year, they go to the NBA. And he just recycles. And that's what he does. And you know, so it's good for somebody. He needs to be called on his bullshit more often. So I was glad to see that. give the fans what they want.
Yeah.
I was pissed at UW when they didn't want to play Gonzaga in basketball because they were kicking UW's ass.
Yeah.
Like, then get better.
Yeah.
Get better at basketball.
They shouldn't be better at you than at basketball. There's no reason.
No, get better. Give the fans what they want. I mean, that's who's footing the bill.
Yeah, and this is like the college basketball rivalry.
Oh,
This is
yeah.
other than Duke UNC. Like
Yeah.
this is it.
Oh,
So I actually have the video here. It's 2 minutes, so I won't play it. But go check it out at Coach Chris Mack on Twitter. It's worth the 2-minute watch for sure. But
why do people choose to live in Kentucky? Can I ask you this?
To get paid by Coach Calipari.
Okay,
it's the only reason.
But there are people. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
To me, Kentucky is. I lived in West Virginia when I was a kid, and Kentucky was the place that made me feel better about West Virginia.
Yeah, I don't. It's one of those things where you feel like if they stepped 30 feet outside of Kentucky, they'd be like, "Why would I ever live here?" I just think they just don't know. They don't know what it's. They just live this shitty, grim life, and they have no idea what's out there for them. There's like buildings and cities and like other people. Like it's crazy.
And then they have all their teeth.
And professional sports teams, And there's other things than Kentucky bourbon.
I don't know why Kentucky's good at basketball.
There's KFC everywhere. You can get it everywhere. It's in London.
Oh man.
Yeah. Anyway, speaking of basketball coach controversy, Doc Rivers fired.
Yeah.
This one, I don't know if I'm like fully surprised or not. I thought they were gonna. I thought they were gonna give him another one, just because Kawhi was like, I want to play for Doc, and that's why he went to the Clips.
Right.
So I thought that was good, but to me that tells me that, and also apparently Steve Ballmer talked to the players, and to me that tells me that Kawhi and Paul George did not want him there anymore.
It has to be.
Because at this point you gave up everything to get those two guys in the building. You're not going to choose Doc over them unless you're the Bulls owner or some dumb shit.
When you were growing up, were you ever coached by someone that you thought was an awesome guy, but you're like, dude, I'm like 9 years old and I know I know you don't know what you're talking about?
Yeah.
I mean, I wonder if it's something like that. I mean, he's an awesome, and that's not the same thing.
No.
But he's an awesome guy. He's a great.
He is.
As far as his voice, especially with all that's been going on in the world.
His post game interview where he started crying like that almost made me tear up.
It brought a tear to my eye.
It
did.
Yeah, he's a great speaker, great guy.
So I think he's great with players, but yeah, I mean, at some point you got to pay the price when you disappoint, and he is disappointed. He won the title in Boston. He's basically disappointed every year since then.
He's blown 3-1 leads. 2 of them with the Clippers, 1 of them with Lob City, they didn't make it out of the second round.
Yeah.
They didn't make it, and they didn't make it out of the second round this year too. So it's like, it's like if you're Ballmer, the more I talk about it, the more I'm talking myself into it being a good decision to fire him, because you can say he's a great coach. You can say he's a great coach. At the end of the day, I don't like the narratives of like, oh, this guy carried that guy, and you know what I mean? Because everyone does their part. But when you bring together pretty much the original super team, and that's the only championship you have, and you have championship contenders in other teams, and you can't even make it out of the second round.
Yeah,
it's like at some point you gotta point the finger. Like there's
something missing there.
Before. I think people were blaming Chris Paul a lot. Early, I wasn't even a huge basketball fan during the Lob City days, so I don't know what all the narratives were and stuff. But I believe Chris Paul caught a lot of the blame for that.
He did.
So
yeah,
I'm glad. I still think Kawhi is like a top 5 player. There are people that are really quick to just say he's like not even top 10 anymore, and it's like, come on.
Didn't play particularly well in these playoffs, especially in the finals, but you can't tell me that the last year's finals MVP can't get it done in the playoffs.
That's a top 5 playoff run, top 3, top 1. Yeah. Like, and
so you can't put it on. You can't just put it on Kawhi.
Yeah, no. And what's interesting is usually I'm like, obviously I'm a big LeBron fan, and I'm kind of in the camp that he gets shit on way too much. But, like, I feel like, actually, no, it's a lie. When he lost to Dallas, was that the same thing? Were people saying, like, when he lost to Dallas was like, oh, he can't get it done, right? Because he hadn't won a ring then.
Yeah.
So never mind then. I was about to make a dumb point. I thought I
Your
got my
first one on here, I'm sure.
Yeah. I got my years mixed up, but yeah, no, it's you know, what we've talked about a lot is when you get a narrative for yourself at the start of your career or at the start of your height of fame or whatever you want to call it, that is very hard to get rid of no matter what, positive or negative. And it's just
you clutch or are you not clutch? Are you a winner or are you a loser?
And it's just so weird to me. And this is all like 16-year-olds on Twitter, so who really cares? But like how hard people flipped on Kawhi and was like, "Oh, y'all thought he was the best. Y'all thought he was better than LeBron." Like I never thought he was better than LeBron, but
I don't think anybody did.
I mean, I wouldn't say it was ridiculous last year to say he was top 3.
Yeah.
I don't think it's ridiculous at all to say, and people are acting like because he lost this series, it's like, oh, Kawhi's not clutch. Kawhi can't. It's just dumb. But anyway, I think that Doc deserved to get the blame for this one.
Yeah, I think so. And he's been there for 7 years. You've got an owner who wasn't the owner when he was hired. So that's not,
True.
quote, air quotes, his guy.
True.
So, sometimes the owner wants to, I don't know what kind of owner Ballmer is yet. He's obviously very into it.
Very passionate, yeah.
And that can be good. It can also be very bad.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if he makes I don't think he makes personnel decisions.
Probably not, but he's got it. You're calling him.
Yeah.
Before you sign somebody.
I mean, yeah. At the end of the day,
check.
At the end of the day, Ballmer's the one that fired Doc. So
yeah. So he's a part of everything that goes on. I don't know how involved he is, but I'll say this. A lot has come out about the Sonics when George Karl was there. George Karl's been more vocal. The GM, blanking on his name, the one before Wally Walker, has come out, and I didn't realize how much of a meddler Barry Ackerley, the owner, was.
Oh, I don't know any of this.
Yeah,
there
were whispers, but yeah, I mean so you don't always know how meddlesome the owner is until years later, because if you're a GM or a coach, you're not going to bag on an owner.
Yeah,
because you're never getting hired by a different owner.
No.
If they're like, I don't want to hire this guy, he's going to rip on me. So who knows what Ballmer's like. But yeah, I mean, he paid $2 billion for that team. He expected a title contender. And they should have been a title contender.
I think another 2 on the arena in Inglewood too.
Yeah.
So, or 4, I don't know what it was. Multiple billions. I know that much. He is like the richest dude in the NBA. So it's whatever.
Yeah, I think he'll be okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, if I was spending $2 billion plus buying an arena, I'd expect a little return on that.
Definitely.
So
and man, it's just tough because you mortgage so much.
Yeah.
That you're in this spot where even though Paul George, I'm not even ready to say that Paul George is like way worse than we thought, because he's still a good player. It's just, I don't know. It's hard.
You got to ride him out one more year.
I think you have to. It's like you gave up like 6 picks for him.
Yeah.
6.
Yeah.
There's no like, unless you're getting 6 picks back, there's no good way to do this.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing they could really do is, if they could trade for another big name.
Yeah, package maybe.
Your crap for my crap.
I was going to say package, but Montrezl Harrell's about to catch a bag from fucking Charlotte or something.
Yeah.
I don't know what Lou Will's contract is like, but he said that the chemistry wasn't there this year, so I think he's gone. You have no picks to trade. What are you going to pack it?
There's really not much you can do. Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's tough. Maybe Zubac.
Trade your 2029 pick.
Yeah, seriously. And with this, I think it's Stepien rule or something, you can't trade 2 first-round picks in a row.
Oh.
So that's why they did 2022, 24, and 26.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So they literally have nothing to trade.
Yeah.
They have nothing.
2028.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I don't know when the Stepien rule was made, but it might have been because of the Brooklyn Nets with with like KG and Paul.
Jesus.
It might have been way before that, but I don't know.
Yeah.
That rule would have come into effect if it hadn't been already. Because that anyway.
Yeah, when you go all in on when you go all in, I'm all for it if it works.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work, you could be fucked for a decade.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that pans out. We always want our teams to go for it this year.
Mm.
But if you take a big hack and you miss, then you may be bad for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, if they don't win a championship in the next 2 years, you may say, oh, it's the Clippers. I mean, nobody should be surprised. I mean, this is what I said to a few people. Maybe I said it on here, but I picked the Clippers to win the finals, and the one thing I forgot was they're the fucking Clippers. They're the Clippers.
Yeah. That's a tough
come
one.
on.
It's a tough one.
How do you pick the Clippers? Jesus Christ. I just forgot the name of the team.
Yeah. Yeah, you just saw LA and Kawhi and Doc.
They're the Lakers bitch, and they always will be. That's it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So do you think they will be a better or a worse team next year? We'll say assume that they get a coach that is not a dumbass hiring, like it's essentially the same quality.
Yeah.
We'll say.
Oh, I think they'll be a top two seed, top worst case top 3 seed. I think they're going to have another good season, but at this point, it's yawn. What are you going to do for me in the postseason?
So that's what I'm saying. Like, will this demoralize them or make them hungry?
I think you had to have a coaching change to have hunger and belief.
That would make sense.
You need something to change to believe that you cannot do what you did last year.
Yeah. I think, man, here's the thing. So Kenny Atkinson, when he was the coach, I think I've talked about this before. When he was coach on the Nets, that's when you see the clips on Twitter of like the Nets bench going insane and stuff. That's Kenny Atkinson. When he left, that stopped.
Wow.
Or when he got fired. So I don't know if that would be a good fit for the Clippers or maybe a better fit for like, I think I said actually when Alvin Gentry got fired, I said I like Kenny Atkinson for the Pelicans job because they got a bunch of young guys and I think that energy would work really well with them. But like I'm wondering, like I feel like Kawhi would hate Kenny Atkinson if he's trying to get everyone. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just talking.
LeBron doesn't seem like a rah type of guy.
Yeah, Kawhi, you mean?
Kawhi.
Yeah.
What did I say?
LeBron.
Oh, Jesus. No, so I've heard the name Jacques Vaughn here and there.
Wes Unseld Jr. is interviewing for stuff.
Okay.
He's interviewing for the Rockets job. I think he was an assistant for the Rockets. There's some nepotism for you.
Yeah.
Actually, I shouldn't say that. He might actually be a great coach. I don't know. I will say he probably got his foot in the door because of his dad. Yeah. But yeah, if he gets in, does well, props to him. Maybe he can make that Rockets team win.
Yeah.
A round of the playoffs.
Yeah. I don't know. They're gonna have to get some different players.
Yeah. Seriously. What was interesting that I saw from the box score, and I'm not a big plus minus guy. Like I just don't look at it a lot.
Yeah.
But Jaylen Brown and Bam Adebayo respectively led their teams with, I believe, 27 and 32 points. And they both had the worst plus minus on their teams. Wow. It was weird. Bam had 32, 14, and 5 or something. And he had a 0 plus minus.
Wow.
And Jaylen Brown had like 27. He was like minus 18. Ooh. It was ridiculous. But yeah, I was about to start going into finals talk, but we'll save that. There's a lot to unpack there. So quickly, Earl Thomas potentially signing with the Texans, but there was some COVID stuff that made it so he couldn't work out. Okay. I think. And I don't know if that has any relation to the Titans' 8 positive tests. And by the way, they're not playing on Sunday. I
don't see how they could if you can't practice.
Yeah.
It's just gonna go blindly into a game.
So they're supposed to play hopefully Monday. Tomlin is very concerned about playing on Tuesday, understandably, and so I don't know if there was any close contact with Texans players and Titans players that made it stinky, but yeah, that sucks obviously.
Oh yeah, I mean we knew something was gonna happen at some point, so
What's weird to me is they got 8 positive tests, everyone else got tested, obviously. So it's like, why can't those 8 guys just?
Because you don't know if someone else just isn't showing it
Yeah.
yet, or it's
Makes sense.
They just want to, they're gonna be over the top cautious.
Yeah.
Because what you can't have is suddenly 30 guys have it.
Yeah.
And now you're not playing for weeks. So, I think, hey, it's 2020. I mean, there may be some teams that only play 14 or 15 games, and you may be doing standings by winning.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
I mean, it's what happened in the NBA.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit more impactful with the NFL.
It is, because
16
one game
games.
is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. But hey, I mean, it's either that or don't play.
Yeah.
So, or you could push some stuff back, but that's hard to do as well. So hopefully they'll get them all in. But if they don't, I mean, I think we've all learned that. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you just gotta. Yeah. There's nothing else we can do.
Yeah.
So, all right, now let's get into this finals matchup. Unless you got anything else from the other realms of sports.
No, I don't think so.
All right, yeah.
What's Earl Thomas's brother's role with the sign?
Well, I was seeing people that were concerned that he's too close to Dallas Airbnbs. So I don't know if you want to put him in Houston. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're far apart, but it's a little close.
Oh my. Anyway.
Yeah. So NBA Finals, we got obviously Lakers Heat. Very exciting. Game 1 is in an hour and 43 minutes. So we'll give our picks at the end of kind of the preview of this series. And, before we get into the preview of this series, let's talk about, Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, Tyler Hero, just killing. I mean, and you see, Jason Tatum would just go missing for a half.
Yeah.
Legit. No points in the first half of a game.
And he's
missing.
He's taking shots though.
He's still getting his. So it's like, that's another interesting one because Jason Tatum's only 23 or whatever, 22.
Yeah.
But I'm not quite ready to start any narratives on him yet.
No, I mean he could turn that around.
Definitely.
For sure.
Definitely. He's had I believe he's had clutch moments before too. I might be wrong.
I think he just tried to do too much.
Yeah, definitely. That's
a lot of contested shots.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not who the Celtics really are.
No, they're a quality shot team, and Tatum is not taking quality shots. Yeah. You just wrote Jimmy is a bad motherfucker, so I'll just kind of let you. I'll let you talk about that.
I really love that guy.
Yeah,
and I will say this. Obviously, as I've said before, I paid almost no attention to the NBA from 2006 because Sonics left in 2008, but I knew they were leaving.
Yeah.
So I kind of, didn't pay much attention to them the last couple of years that they were there. And really the time I first started watching the NBA with any sort of more than 5 minutes was last year's playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd hear things, because I watch Sports Center and things like that. And, Jimmy, I'm like, is this guy a team wrecker? Because you'd hear stuff.
3 teams in 3 years. And
like, what's this guy's deal? But I think, and I've compared him to Richard Sherman before. There are guys that are me guys, right? That I want the ball because I want stats and I want my contract and all that sort of stuff. And then there are guys who are edgy. And it's, we need to do this so we fucking win. You need to do this so we win. There's a big, in my mind, a huge difference between those two, but they often get thrown into the same bucket.
The Jimmy bucket.
Yeah. I see Jimmy as the latter where, he can be kind of a dick. Mm-hmm. But, I think every team needs a guy that's a little bit like that.
Yeah.
To hold you accountable.
Yeah.
So if if he's on Jason Tatum's team, don't take that shot, asshole. Pass the ball. You had a guy open in the corner. What's your problem? So I really like his edge because although it can be gruff and hard, I think it's coming from the right place. And think his current team understands that.
Yeah.
And maybe his other teams are just okay with making their money and losing.
Well, first of all, the Bulls front office, I mean, they've just consistently chosen like GMs and coaches over players, which is the dumbest thing you can do.
Yeah.
And so that's part of the reason Jimmy was out of there. Then he went to, I think it was Minnesota next, and then the Sixers. My theory is that there is no personality on the Miami Heat currently that doesn't feel like, I think like Karl Anthony Towns and Joel Embiid and maybe Ben Simmons take Jimmy's fire and think he's just like a dick and he's like, oh, you're not as good as me and like all that stuff. The players on the Heat are all young and you know, Jimmy's very clearly like the star, the leader. So I think in that role, it's much easier for people to kind of digest it. Because, like, you know, Michael Jordan couldn't get away with that shit if he was, like, arguably the second or third best player on his team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, like, Jimmy was doing these things that ultimately are a good thing for the team, clearly.
Right.
But people weren't taking it like that, and it ended up just doing the complete opposite.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that's my theory on that. By the way, any guy that has like a bad attitude and we don't like, from now on we're tossing him in the Jimmy bucket.
The Jimmy bucket.
Yeah, we're tossing him in the Jimmy buckets. Jimmy buckets is not in my Jimmy bucket. So,
No.
So yeah. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. You know, obviously next year how will Tatum respond? I think he's gonna keep improving. You know, I'm not gonna come out and say anything wild about him yet.
I'm wait and see on him.
Yeah, which is sucks because we're kind of fence sitting right now, which is not great for podcasts. But it's like, what do you want?
He's on probation.
Yeah, definitely.
I will say that. Like,
definitely.
Like he's gonna have to show something, you know, before he proves that he's one of the best players in the league.
Yeah.
And it's gonna come in the playoffs. He's got to do it in the playoffs. What he does in the regular season, kind of like the Clippers, not gonna matter a whole lot. He's got to show that he can do it in the playoffs, and you know, again, I think if the guy just lets the game come to him a little bit more instead of trying to force it, I think he'll be fine. And I think that was a big part of his issue. But yeah, I like Jimmy. I like the Heat. You know, I don't know if we're in prediction mode yet, or we want to.
We can, yeah.
Well, let's talk about the Heat a little bit more. What else do you like about the Heat?
I mean, you know, Bam Adebayo, he will, if the Heat win more than 2 games, he's the reason why, I think.
Yeah, he's a big key to the defensive effort.
Yeah. And the problem with how the Heat match up with the Lakers, Bam absolutely 100% has to be on the court when AD is. Yeah. There's no, you want Kelly Olynyk guarding him, the 3-point shooting center? Fuck no. Bam has to be on the court. So that's a problem, obviously. Obviously, you know, Tyler Hero, he can go out and get his buckets. He might have a game where he pops off for 25 plus or something. But there's nothing on this Heat team that I feel like the Lakers don't have. So it's... Yeah. I mean, Hero, you know, they don't have Hero and they don't have Duncan Robinson. Those are the two they don't have. They don't have, like, the best shooter in the league, and then they don't have this young scorer who, I don't know, does he start? I think he comes off their bench for the most part. But, yeah, so to me, it's like, I really do like this Heat team, and I love Eric Spoelstra. But I don't see any way, unless injuries or something crazy happens.
Yeah, I mean, if you line them up man for man, it looks pretty tough.
I mean, and like when Bam, what happens when the Lakers roll out Dwight and AD? You gonna put Kelly Olynyk and Bam in at the same time? Okay, then what happens when they're both tired as fuck?
It will take, you know, I think the Heat have a chance to win 2 games.
I don't have them. My prediction is a gentleman's sweep. Yeah. Like the rest of the series.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll win 2 games, but that's the most
I think they're gritty enough to win 2, but to even win 2 and certainly to win any more than 2, there's in my opinion, it's going to take the Lakers squabbling, at each other, not playing as a unit, because I think the Heat are very cohesive. The Heat would have to shoot the lights out, like everybody's going to have to be hitting, but you can't do that for 7 games usually. You might get a couple games that'll help you do, win with shooting, but
shooting does get cold. Like eventually.
Yeah,
you know?
you're not usually hot for 7 games.
Yeah.
Or even 4 games.
Yeah.
You're hot for 2 games. It would take LeBron, struggling or getting banged up, getting injured. If the free throw line gets in his head, which it doesn't seem like it has as much this postseason as it has at times. It would take things like that, I think. But if everything being equal, if the teams play like they play, and there aren't injuries and anomalies that exist for more than a couple games, then it's just hard. I really want the Heat to win.
Yeah.
Because I don't, I've never liked the Lakers. They were a Sonics rival.
Yeah.
And then I don't dislike LeBron, but it'd be nice, if he goes down again, I don't have to hear about that for a while.
Yeah.
But so I will be rooting for the Heat because they're the underdog. I mean, there's a few reasons, and I like Jimmy. But it's really hard for me to sit here and call it.
Yeah.
I can't make that prediction.
By the way, I'm just going to throw this in there. Congrats to all the baseball teams that made the playoffs.
Oh yeah, there's baseball playoffs.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I've not paid an ounce of attention to the baseball season, other than a little bit with the Mariners. But
I watched. Yeah, go ahead.
Let's see. Tampa Bay won the wild card series today against the Blue Jays. A's tied up the series 1-1.
Are you a Bieber believer?
Not last game.
He gave up 7 earned runs,
something like that. The Marlins are in the playoffs.
Yeah, the fucking Marlins make the playoffs.
What? They beat the Cubs. It's 1-0 Miami.
Oh man.
Oh god damn it.
These teams are making the playoffs by accident.
Yeah, seriously.
And the Mariners can't do it when they try even.
Yeah. Oh my god. The Astros won the wild card. That's sad. Braves lead 1-0 on the Reds, and the Cardinals are current. Oh wow, Yankees Indians got delayed. Probably rain, I'm guessing, or lightning.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Because now when someone dies, you're like COVID, right?
Yeah. Cardinals are on top of the Padres in Game 1, 6-3. So yeah, probably not going to talk about baseball playoffs a ton.
Probably not. I mean, we'll work it in, and I'm sure I'll watch some here and there.
Yeah.
But it was just hard for me. It's hard for me to get into with the shortened season.
Mm-hmm.
The Mariners not. Baseball. Here's the thing about baseball, and we love baseball.
Yeah.
We've watched a lot of baseball. I've coached it a lot. You play that's where that was our bread and butter for years. But baseball to me is more of a game where I need to really be emotionally invested in a team.
For sure.
It's hard for me to watch two teams. I'll watch the World Series, but beyond that, it's hard for me to get into a game where I don't really care.
Mm-hmm.
Where football, I'll watch, dude. If there are 8-year-olds down the street playing on a muddy field,
you will watch them in not a creepy way.
I'll watch them in not a creepy way. Yeah, I'll watch any football game. I'll watch guys playing flag football.
Yeah, get some action, get some American Conference.
I love football, and basketball isn't quite there, but I enjoy watching different basketball teams as well. But baseball, for part of it, there are many reasons, but one of them is just there's not a lot of personality.
Yeah.
There's not basketball, and I've seen this with you so much. It's a fucking soap opera. Woo, where's Kawhi gonna go? Woo, where's he gonna go? Oh, he said. Oh, did you see what this guy said about this guy on Twitter? Oh my god. OMG. That's like a lot of it. For a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I get sucked into it a little bit as well, I'll admit. But
I'm not as bad as a lot of people on Twitter.
Yeah,
There's people tweeting about how the most underrated matchup of this series is Tyler Hero versus Kyle Kuzma because Tyler Hero's dating Kyle Kuzma's ex. Legit. And someone replied to that like, you guys are tweeting like hoes. Like you need to watch the game. Stop tweeting.
Yeah. So that's a lot of the intrigue with basketball, but baseball, it's kind of the fans are boring.
Yeah.
The players are boring. I mean, Mike Trout is the face of the game. He's the most boring fucking guy,
dude. Oh my
I've
goodness.
ever seen. I'm sure he's a great guy. I'm not criticizing him, but he's not like interesting to
No,
watch.
no, not at all.
Or hear talk. So
And even the players that are interesting to watch, you see them hit 3 times a game.
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't get on base, and sometimes there will be like 2 fly balls to them routine, and it's just
yeah,
so it's like more so than any other game. You don't know what you're getting out of a baseball game, which can be good, but also it's just I don't know, man. Like I kind of want to be able to watch a game and like if I turn on a Bucks game, like I'm gonna see Giannis eat tonight, Like,
right.
Like it's gonna be fun to watch Giannis be dominant. If I turn on an Angels game, Mike Trout could go for a golden sombrero and have 2 errors and get caught stealing.
Won't really matter that much.
No,
like,
yeah. So that's the thing. There's 162 games.
Yeah.
Like, how do you expect me to be invested in every one of these games? I can't.
Right.
There's no way. Yeah. Anyway, baseball talk.
Yeah.
Back to the finals.
Yes.
This is all over the place, but yeah. So we each got a gentleman's sweep for the Lakers. It seems like.
I'll say 2. I'll go 2.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm pushing it a little bit there.
Yeah.
But I think that's more like I want it to go.
Right. Yeah.
I'd like there to be some Game 6 intrigue.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to see that.
So, I have one more question that you put down here to ask before we kind of start predicting stuff, other than we just made a prediction. But does winning help LeBron's legacy as much as a loss would hurt his legacy?
Yeah.
I was kind of sitting on this one for a while. I think LeBron winning would change more minds than LeBron losing.
Okay.
I think there are a lot of LeBron fans, while they're right, they're a little stubborn, and I will say a lot of the points. Same with Jordan.
Jordan fans are the same way.
Same with Jordan.
I
Yeah.
get it.
And you could say this for both ways too. Some of the points that they make, it's like, dude, you're hurting the argument right now. Like stop. But I just think that it would be more likely that people thought that young people that think Jordan is the GOAT will switch over, rather than like maybe some of the older people or even some of the young people that think LeBron's the GOAT. I don't think a lot of them will flip like that.
Right.
Whereas I feel like it'd be more likely with Jordan. I don't know though. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But then it's like if you go 3-7 in the finals, dude.
I think fence sitters, so guys probably 35 and younger that have weren't as in one era.
Yeah.
They were kind of have seen some of both eras or more LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
I think if he loses, it might not be a huge deal. My generation will be, I told you, motherfucker.
Yeah.
That's why he's not the GOAT.
Yeah.
And I think it'll nail in the coffin for my generation.
Oh,
if he
for
loses
sure.
this
Yeah.
finals.
That was
I'm
my other...
still a little open-minded. Like
you said 2,
open.
right? You said if he
He
gets
wins
2,
it's hard to argue, right?
Yeah. And yeah, I think kind of like you can compare this with politics too. Like it's just gonna whatever happens, it's gonna send the hardcore fans further. Like So it's just but the fence sitters, I think a win would be more likely because it's hard to like move a guy down a spot for me when he makes the finals and loses.
Yeah.
It's like so you're saying he wouldn't have moved down a spot if he lost in the 3rd round?
Unless he's part of the reason they lost.
Yes, I will say,
so,
I won't blame people for flipping if he has a terrible series and they lose. Like, it would be hard for me to argue at that point. Honestly, it'd be really hard for me to make that argument anymore. But yeah, so I guess let's just move into some predictions. You got more stuff? More general thoughts?
No, like I said, I just think that on paper, it looks rough for Miami. I'll be pulling for them. I'd love to see them win it. I picked them to beat. I guess I didn't pick. I picked them. Did I pick them to beat the
Clippers?
The Bucks?
Wait, who, the Heat?
The Heat, yeah.
You picked the Celtics, I'm pretty sure.
I know I picked the Celtics to get there.
Oh, yeah, I think you did.
Did I pick them
I think you
upset?
Did.
I know I picked them to win the first game, but I can't remember now.
I'm pretty sure you did.
But so when somebody comes through like that, you kind of pull for them.
Yeah.
And again, I like Jimmy and I like some of the other players on the team, so I'll be rooting for them. But yeah, it's tough to.
By the way,
tough to see it. 4.5. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, we were talking about storylines and like what would be the bigger storyline, LeBron versus Spo or Lakers Celtics. LeBron just went on like a complete like, I love Eric Spoelstra. Like he was asked about him in an interview, and so there's absolutely no on the surface there's no animosity at all there. By the way,
right.
Yeah.
We can cook some up though.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
If we really want.
Oh, we can really spin some stuff up. But...
So I think the Lakers are 4.5 point favorites for this game.
Mm-hmm.
How do you like the spread? What would you do?
Give me the Lakers by 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. First of all, I'm not a big fan of basketball point spreads. I think they are.
It's a shit show. It is. I think we talked about this last time. It is hard. Such a shit show.
You just never know who's gonna hit free throws down
basically,
the stretch.
Yeah. Who's gonna score the last 10 points in a row?
Yeah.
Is it the team that's down by 30 or the team that's up by 30?
Yeah. So I would if you again gun to my head. Yeah, it's hard. Like I think either I could see the Heat winning a close game.
Mm-hmm.
Or the Lakers winning by 7 or more points.
Right.
So I would tend to lean toward the Lakers in that scenario. So I would, this is not my lock of the week by any means.
Yeah.
Okay. But I would pick the Lakers, but I would just do the money line or something.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't bet the spread.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess, how about, Let's do the over under. We don't usually do this, but 217.5. So will it be 110 to 108 or more? That's a tough one for me.
That's a tough one because you got two pretty good defensive clubs.
Yeah.
It's tough for me to pick the under in a basketball game. Picking the under is anti-American.
It is, yeah. I mean, I feel like the under is going to hit for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I just feel like it. So I'm going to take the under.
Care to make this interesting?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
How much?
$2?
$2. Let's do it. $2. Hell yeah.
It's more about the pride.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Handing over
the fact that one of us won a bet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I need to stop saying man. It's bad.
Yeah.
So. All right. Lakers versus the Heat. So we got. Yep, the point spread. We got the over under. All right. How about let's make a pick for Finals MVP.
Well, it's gonna be a Laker.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be interesting because it probably will be LeBron.
Chances are AD has more points per game though.
That's the thing. How many Finals MVP does LeBron have?
3.
Because I think this is going to be a little bit like what I've talked about with the regular season MVP, where you're a crusty sports writer, you're tired, you've been covering all these goddamn games, and you're looking at, okay, who am I going to vote for? Oh fuck. Okay, they need an MVP vote. This last thing I gotta do before I shut down my laptop. LeBron, fucking LeBron, always LeBron. Who else we got? I mean, there's an instinct to go to the next guy.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're like, okay, LeBron, 20, 25, 9, and 12 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
AD, 29, 8, and 7.
Yeah. With
29
with 2
more
blocks.
Than,
2 blocks.
A couple blocks.
Yeah.
The interior defense was, you can talk yourself into it. I think that's what happens. So, man, it's tough. These things often come down to who hits a clutch shots.
Yeah, true.
Sometimes it's somebody out of the woodwork.
Yeah, Iggy.
Hard to imagine who that would be. Yeah, Iggy. I mean,
I don't even know if there's anyone that I could think of that could.
Could a Danny Green get hot finally?
But he can't do enough to. There's no way.
Yeah.
In 4 wins to be better than both of them?
He'd have to hit 2 game winners.
Yeah.
So I don't see it. It's going to be one of those 2 guys. I would, I damn near bet the house on that. The $5.
Okay, we'll make a pick.
That's the tough one.
Actually making the pick. Yeah.
I'm going to say AD for the reasons I mentioned earlier. I think the top end of their stat line will be similar, and people will say, fuck it, AD's never had this opportunity.
Yeah.
Let's throw one to him.
I could definitely see that. I think LeBron's going to make it undeniable.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if he plays like he did at the end of their fourth win in the last series, if he takes over a game like that, that'll be the difference.
Mm-hmm.
And he absolutely decided he didn't want to play Game 6.
Right.
Game 6?
Yeah.
Five. They won.
They won in
4-1.
5.
So he didn't want to play a 6 game.
Yeah.
He's like, no, I want a couple days off.
Mm-hmm.
So he took over that game. Yeah. If he does that, then he'll win the award.
Yeah.
I just think it might be close enough where they'll go the other way. But yeah, I'm positive of this. I will say he should have won it. Whether he wins it or not, I'm pretty confident in saying. I'll be like, yeah, they gave it to AD, not terrible pick,
right.
But that sounds a lot like Barkley beating Jordan for MVP.
Yeah, I think I could like very, very easily see that being the case. So I guess move. I don't know, maybe. No way.
Oh, what?
Okay. Howard Schultz Clown of the Week. Why do I keep deleting this file? I've done it like 4 times.
It's probably Howard Schultz.
Yes.
Fuck Howard Schultz for
yes.
that.
Okay, wait. No, it should be here. I don't know. Anyway. Clown of the Week. Do you want to go first while I try to figure this out?
So my Clown of the Week, I'm going to go... I haven't said much about this guy for a long time, but my old friend... There we go!
Yes.
My Clown of the Week is my old friend, Chip Kelly.
Oh, man. What did he do?
So, he basically was one of the people that sounded against playing. And he's like, well, my guys haven't really even worked out since March.
That's your fault.
Yeah. So I think he seems to be a different guy this time around. I think he's just kind of collecting his paycheck and not doing a ton. His players were kind of revolting and all that. So he's, as a guy that's a dominant coach at one time in this conference, he's somebody that should have come out months ago and said, damn it, we need to find a way to fucking play.
Yeah, for sure.
My players want to play. We need to find a way to do it. And he was silent, and then when he wasn't silent, he was more negative toward playing, and I need more time, and so fuck that guy. Clown of the Week, Clown of the Week. What you got?
My Clown of the Week, unfortunately, is the American people for having to watch that fucking debate last night. And that's all I'll say about that. Take what you want from that.
That's all I have to say.
That's all I have to say about that. All right. Clown music off.
Hey, do you think, the NBA, we've talked a lot about the NBA in this, and this might be something you have to delete. But a lot of people, there are a lot of people that say, I'll never fucking watch the NBA again. I think the NBA in the city of Seattle is a lot like porn.
All right, where could this go?
People say they don't watch it, but they actually do.
The
ratings show us that millions of people in the Puget Sound area will tune into these finals.
How many of those people have never bought Starbucks too?
Yeah, I know.
Never.
Yeah.
Even after Howard Schultz sold it?
Yeah. I've heard Softy swears he's never bought it. He says he's gone in to their bathroom to piss a couple times.
I think people saw him in there.
I know.
And he
he's
had
like,
to cover his tracks.
I'm just in here to piss.
Yeah. I don't know about that one, Softy.
Yeah, but I wouldn't surprise me though. He's pretty hardcore.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. I mean, there are a lot of places to get coffee here. So
but anyway, it's just So I'm sure there may be a couple of people listening to this that are talking about, why are you guys talking about that? Nobody watches that. You're watching it.
Yeah, you're watching.
You know you're watching it.
Okay, sorry about that. Just had an alarm go off to remind me that the South Park 1 hour special is tonight in 15 minutes. So.
But I think it's actually at 8 o'clock, by the way. At least on our TV. At least on our TV.
Oh, I thought it was 8 Eastern. I swear it said 5 Pacific. Oh, well.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, on our TV, it's recording at 8. But
Okay.
anyway, we could probably talk about that later.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So yeah, the camera stopped there for a sec. Sorry about that, guys. And now it kind of looks weird, but oh well.
That's all right.
All right. Yeah, we got like 5 minutes left here. So, all right. The lock of the week. What you got there?
So by the way, I'm gonna pat myself on my back. Right now.
Go for it.
I am 5-0 in lock of the week. And now that I've brought that up, I've probably jinxed it. And so, as I mentioned, I don't feel good about, I wanted to go with a Lakers pick, but I don't feel real great about that spread.
Yeah.
So I'm going to lay off of that and go with a real sport, football once again. There were a couple spreads that I really liked a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I considered the Raiders are 3-point dogs at home against the Buffalo, I think.
Yeah, Buffalo.
I don't remember.
Yep. I'm looking at the.
But I think the Patriots can stay within 7 points of the Chiefs. Like they're gonna muddy that thing up just enough.
Interesting. Okay.
That 7-point spread.
All right.
Yeah, I think the Patriots will keep that
God
close.
damn.
So that is my lock of the week.
They're giving Baltimore 12 points against Washington.
I know. Yeah, there's.
I almost want to make that my pick.
The Rams. I think it's the Rams are 12. Somebody else is a 12-point favorite as well.
Yeah,
the
Rams
Giants.
over the Giants.
Yeah.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do a little gear switch for my lock of the week. I'm taking the Giants, minus 12.
Yeah.
Or plus 12.
Plus 12. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, I like that. I like that spread.
Yeah. And
By
the
the way-
Rams aren't good. What?
But my last week's pick of the over on Seattle Dallas was the easiest pick
dude.
I've ever made.
What the hell?
Candy to a fat guy.
By the
right
way,
there.
my lock last week was the over on the Heat Celtics game.
Oh,
and that came down to like free throws.
Yeah.
That was
It's
crazy.
funny. You gave up on it.
Yeah, I did.
And I think at one point I'm like, dude, look at the score. Because if the guy was going to hit the free throw, you were going to come in on it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, watch.
I gave up. It was a low-scoring game.
Watch this free throw.
Yeah.
This is an important free throw. And you're like, huh? You're like, oh, shit. Oh, my God.
Yeah, I gave up in like the third quarter.
Yeah.
I thought there was no chance. But yeah, so I'm going to make that my lock of the week.
Okay.
I don't think the Rams are good at football, so I don't know. Actually, they might be. They might have a bounce back year, honestly. But all right, how about your player of the week?
In this regard, I've struggled a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
So last week I said it was going to be Chris Carson, who played a pretty minimal role.
Yeah.
Well, role's probably a bad term to use.
Yeah.
He got rolled over.
By the way, fuck that dude again, Tristan Hill.
Fuck that guy, Tristan Hill. Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Scumbag.
Oh, the Tristan Hill clown of the week.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard the radio broadcast of that from the Dallas angle, and they're like, "Oh, he just was trying to pull." And I'm like, "Come on, guys, it was pretty interesting." But anyway, and then the week before that, I picked Rondo, and he was a factor.
He was good.
But I don't know, like player of the week. Yeah,
not player of the week, but he was good.
I thought he would, contribute even more than he did. So you go first. You go first.
All right. I've been waiting for this to use this pick for a while now.
Okay.
There's a reason we've done 5 lock of the weeks now, and I have not, or player of the weeks, and I don't think I've chosen LeBron yet.
How many of those jerseys do you think got burned?
Oh Jesus, too many.
Like 10 years ago or whatever.
Too many, yeah. And then they regretted it like 5 years later.
You know how many got burned?
How many?
Not one. Not two.
Oh God, Jesus. All right, fucking. Who's your player of the week?
Oh, what the hell? I like to try not to. I mean, obviously, I could go with Davis.
Yeah.
He's gonna get his. LeBron's gonna get his. I'll go with. I think Danny Green is gonna hit some big shots.
All right.
I think I mean, is he gonna lead the team in scoring? No. But I think he's going to be a big difference maker that the Heat has trouble matching up with.
I'm going to say right now, if Danny Green and KCP shoot well, the Heat have no chance.
Oh, for sure.
They will get swept.
Yeah.
So
I think he's going to. I mean, I think the guy's kind of due to
definitely.
He's been struggling,
I would agree with that. Yeah, and he's a good defender too. So
and he has finals experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been there before. He's not going to be rattled by the moment. So
no, he's been there
I'll go
twice with Kawhi because he went with the Spurs. He was on the Spurs,
Yep.
and then with the Raptors. So, yeah. You got anything else in any sport, any topic?
No. I mean, other than obviously go Hawks.
Yeah, go Hawks.
Gonna go see the fish down there in Miami.
Yeah.
Your homework assignment for the two people who are still listening. Watch Ace Ventura. There's some good dolphin stuff.
Oh
in there.
yeah.
Yeah, probably. I wonder if the treatment of dolphins is not the best in that movie. But,
actually, yeah, I didn't consider that.
But hey, whatever.
All right. On that note,
yeah, fuck the dolphins.
Yeah, fuck
lock
the
them up in a
Dolphins.
little cage.
Go Hawks, bring the Sonics back.
Yes.
Thank you for trying, Mariners.
Nice try. Next play, Mariners.
Next play. All right. Yeah. Peace out.
See ya.